Amanda's mirror calls the overtones upon her latest departure. 17 years since we last spoke. No way to recognize that voice, she says. It's Amanda. Some remote reptile in the brain where a deserted desert cave supplies an amber oil of words with an image of her kneeling on a mattress afloat in the middle of her apartment. Gaping picture windows lit too brightly in the background. I am connected to the phone across a thin wire. She wants to FaceTime. There are stories about her trip to Persia, Nepal. A black pickup truck T-boned her T-boned her Nissan. In New Orleans, she and her partner made a living in live shows on Bourbon. Her house on the hill is in the shadow of her departed father. She married a UFC fighter, divorced, wrote a book. She is planning a trip to the moon. She holds her phone up to a standing mirror. She is long and thin, and the phone is her face. The carpet of her mother's stand-up looks like dirt, dusty with static, as subtext for the fleur-de-lis treble of the overstuffed ottoman. Off to her left, stairs hidden from view by the white jail bars of the balustrade. Outside, sirens, more sirens, a third set of sirens. I hear them come, go, come, go, come and go. I imagine a cop behind the wheel. He leans into a right turn onto James Street, probably a high school friend. The chassis of the car lurching left, right, and as it ascends up, down with the weakness of its shock absorbers and the power of its engine over the uneven streets. For a moment, she looks panic-stricken, as if someone unexpected has walked into the room. Her twin sister passes through the frame without looking, asks her, "Why are you naked?" The screen door opens to the front porch, and the hinges announce to the midday drizzle the intensity of my attention to the shiver of her voice in my ear, the vibration in the cord to my phone, the shaking of my hand, the mirror's quivering reflection, a room pulsing with panic and family, and the sway of the chassis of the earth beneath my feet that feels not unlike the spinning of the earth if I knew I could feel the spinning of the earth, spinning, unspinning, that moment as almost children when our best friend drove us to New Jersey in his Volkswagen bus. We recalled the operation, the carnival summer of Tilt-A-Whirl, of Starflyer, of Love's UFO. What Amanda's looks say. Electric communication will never be a substitute for the face of someone who with their soul encourages another person to be brave and true. Charles Dickens. She was not one for emptying her face of expression. J.D. Salinger, Franny and Zoe. Shut up. Oh my God, you have to be kidding me. Well, that was my self-deprecating humor meant to point out your artificial paradigm intending to box me into a deterministic response to your otherwise completely ambiguous misjudgment. That's right, I want to rock and roll all night. Yeah, right. Huh? The roll of my eyes is not really rolling my eyes in the conventional sense of rolling one's eyes to show exasperation or contempt, but rather a roll of my eyes meant to communicate a combination of exhaustion, drunkenness on pleasure, and complete connectedness. Asshole. That was the artist's attempt to create the illusion of space created by perspective. Help yourself. Help me. I'm feeling lost, disconnected. I know dependency is a sign of weakness, but I need to know you love me. That in the heat of this, that behind the wheel of the partridge bus is a driver who cares. Your idea of normal and my idea of normal are clearly not the same. Much gratitude for this gesture. I know you think this means I will now have sex with you, but you are sadly mistaken. Much gratitude for this gesture. I know you think this means I will now have sex with you, but you are sadly mistaken. I was going to have sex with you anyways. Folding, 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 folding. Oh, really? While the death of your mother is tragic, and we owe to our own mother country the great masters of the monstrous, Hieronymus Bosch and others who opened the floodgates of creative fantasy, you need to get your ass in here and eat dinner with your family. What will my sister say today? If you only knew what my sister said to me today. Your daughter wants Justin Bieber tickets, and I want to go too. This is the higamus of adult childhood. Deal with it. Your son discovered his asshole today. The pictures in this book you have given your son show imaginative activity unleashed in a form I am unfamiliar with, a sort of Indo-Malaysian phantasmagoria of pullulating vegetation and of fear-haunted, stifling tropical nights. Not appropriate for a 3-year-old. You did what? You smell like rotting oranges. Don't worry, you will have sex with me tonight, but I'm telling you that picture is stupid. Pilot's servant holding the water pitcher is hovering in space with nowhere to stand. Plus, pilot's hands will never be washed clean, like yours. You look like hell. I was reading Janus by Kessler, and in the chapter Physics and Metaphysics considering Jung's essay, Synchronicity and Acausal Connecting Principle, I stumbled across a quote you'd previously highlighted. The seemingly accidental meeting of two unrelated causal chains in a coincidental event which appears both highly improbable and highly significant, and it occurred to me you should really consult with a therapist. Back away from the sink. Why haven't you taken down the Christmas lights? When you say that, you better mean it. 2. These are your instructions. Good morning. The coffee is made, and I remember today is the day your mother died, and perhaps more than anyone else, I know what that really means to you. I understand, like no one else understands, that you come from no place and belong to no one, and that every room you walk into, you know no one, and no one knows you, and that you are the empty space they fill with that person who has not been here before, who is not one of them. And I know you love this about yourself because otherwise this would be tragic. But I also know this is only true because you know, I know how I mean to you, how you mean to me. Come on. Look, a piece of the moon. Good morning. The coffee is made. Thank you. I remember. Yesterday, we were walking Columbus past city lights, and we walked over a sewer cap, Neenah Foundry, Neenah, Wisconsin. And I knew we have done the same in every city you've been in. And I know how you like to tell the story about no matter where you go, all you have to do is look into the sewer to know where you came from. Keep it to yourself. We are out of milk. I am immersed. There is no need for me to look at you because I know this about you. When I pick up our son, I feel, without looking, your eyes on me. We are out of squeaking floors and horseflies buzzing against window panes. We are out of clothes rustling, coughing, landmines, ramen, doors that won't lock, lack of plumbing, roadlessness, distance. We are out of here. This is boring. This is embarrassing. Give yourself an ice cream shop haircut soaked in gold. Give yourself time to play the dinosaur restaurant train yard dropped in the belly of the guitar next to the monstrous TV. You there? I am pulling the corner of the right side of my mouth towards my ear and raising my eyebrow to indicate a mildly comic panic, and I expect you to do the same to indicate you understand what I am saying. We are not done. We are expanding our understanding into new territory. We peel grapes together. Morning breath. Stanky, stanky morning breath. I said, yes, I will get my passport taken care of. But now that I have said this, you know this means, no, I won't. He holds the violin under his chin without using his hands. I know you see me standing here. Stop rolling your dirty socks together. This red sock, you're not hanging that in this room. I'll let you go. I've missed you in front of the mirror. I am sleeping. I am dreaming. It is a good dream. The light was on. Wasps! Yellow jackets! Dragonflies! Fireflies! Swallows! Wild turkeys! Raccoons! The door was wide open. I remember the story you told me about the time you were rubbing your mother's feet, rubbing them, telling her it was going to be okay. She had a seizure because of the progression of the triple-negative lymphomatic breast cancer to her brain. She'd fallen into a coma. You'd rushed from your father's house where you and he had been watching the Green Bay Packers. You said she rose up out of the coma like a bobber popping up to the surface of a pond, a wobble and a waver. Her first words, did the Packers win? We are out of blue eggs. Like Scott said, break their hearts. The spy cam captures Amanda trying on her daughter's underwear. On Twitter, her friends champion Turkey, a snapshot of a uniformed man in his stormtrooper gear showering a girl in a cotton sundress with tear gas. You are not free in your own home. You are not safe in your own home. The cam installed to capture the sitter's misdeeds with wards or with the master of the house has captured you. You do not see us seeing you pull the yellow pair with pink polka dots from the laundry basket. Measure them against your still, you think, girlish figure. We watch you hold them up to the light. We don't care what you are thinking. We don't care that your grandmother died today, 17 years ago. We don't care about the tattered baseball jersey stuffed in a shoebox with a love letter from your college sweetheart, now dead, packed into the corner of your closet. One day, the box will burn in a fire. We don't care about how you long for a time when you did not realize your sister's child will never graduate high school because of what happened. We don't care about your swimming dream where hundreds of seals chase you off the beach and into open ocean, where among the waves that disguise and reveal the horizon, you find yourself exhausted, arms too heavy to continue, and you float on your back. Open to the fear that below you is a savage emptiness so vast, so voracious, the sky above your small self pulls away in fear of being devoured. The dream never ends and starts again when you fall asleep each night aware no amount of psychoanalysis can salve the pain of what you've always known, that sanctity's bond denies you the right to cosmic awareness, and that cosmic consciousness may just be moop. There is no higher self observing other selves. There is just us. We've hacked you, and it's we, not God, watching. The invention of Amanda. In the 1953 film version of Ugetsu Monogatari, the potter turns a profit on his pottery during war, though warned that profits during chaos do not last. Raiders raid, women wail, hay hastens, war warthogs, dreamers dream, houses house, sweat sweats, executioners execute, fish fish. Poetry is an adjective. The moral of the film, and the film is ultimately a morality tale, reminds the viewer that love of is no fun. Money, poetry, war, peace. The lies told mostly to ourselves to maintain our characters require a Death Star. Every belief, a Death Star to someone or something or to some other idea. Success always comes with a price in suffering, says Tobey's wife, just after she reveals her success in bedding a new man every night. The first time Amanda visited, she rendered an entire songbook of omens, forecasting predictions, retelling truths undressed as dreams. She burned the pages with ashes, fed the glowing phytoplankton of the bay with her hands. The fishiness of the stars nibbled her fingertips until the banyan tree let down all at once an array of connections to metaphor, as the banyan of etymology unearths not tree but merchant, and finds the seed of seed a quality of fig. Arm after arm, like a polygamous kraken, wedding and re-wedding the song of departed, burned notes with a transect of detritus mathematically deranged behind the bay across the floor. She exhumed the clarity a firm handshake hides. She killed off the fear left from the darkness beneath the bed. Onan knew she would take with her all that she gave and more, but also knew she would return in the many forms required of her. She knew the problem with Stein was that she was not Celine. Insert something smart. You can ask me to explain to you later. She foresaw how a failed poem thinks to algorithm a poem. Prostitute nature, prostitute childhood memory, assert a connection in the form of pathetic fallacy, add a quick elliptical insight into the relationship between the two, flute, tattoo, sock, grave.